Making shadow masks is great fun, and a mask just blocks out the light, creates a shadow. So the mask in this particular case is just the shape of a Christmas tree, and as you can see, it's projecting it this time not under the Shadow Theatre screen, but just under the paper in front of me. So the little stick holds it, there it is, look, and the light source, which in this case is a proper little spotlight torch, casts a shadow. So there it is, exactly the same shape as the object which is making the shadow. So there's a little person there, so same thing again, look, and there it is, and that's the one we showed you before, which is the one with the coloured eyes. So that one's just got sticky tape over the colour at the back, and then very effectively produces that colour of light in the shadow. So the shadow is the black part around the outside, the white and the red are where the light travels through the mask. Fabulous. Let's put the lights on. I'll do this. There we go. So what we need for this is bits of offcuts of paper, card, anything at all where it can act as the mask. So it's got to be it's got to be opaque. These are just opaque. So the best way to do this, so it's a little square of paper. It's only, what, 7 centimetres by 7 by 5 centimetres, but any sort of shapes will do. You've got to keep the shapes small though, because they might end up too big a mask for use in the theatre. So what you do then is, it's always good to start by folding in half. So whatever your shape is going to be, fold it in half, and then we're going to do symmetrical cutting to create the shape and in a more regular sort of way. So if you wanted to do a person, you would just bear in mind, look, that's where the fold is. So if that's the fold, all we've got to do, just put that background down, that's the fold there. All we've got to remember is we're going to cut from the fold. So if you wanted to do a person, you just need to think, well, what does half a person look like? So there's the person so far, half of their head down to the shoulders and neck, out for the arm, down for the side of the body, now out for the legs, boots on the feet there, and then back up we'll go. So now when you come to cut that out, there we go. It doesn't matter if you don't stick perfectly to it. And then down for the arms. That bit pops out, look. There's the end of the hand there. That goes down there like that. Round for the boots. Up for the legs. So half a person, open it out. So there's your full person. So in order to make the little pumpkin head, well, with a bit of practice, you don't even need to draw it. All you do is say, well, look, same as before, fold in half. You might want to fold it that way or the other way up, depending on the width or the height of the object. But here's our little pumpkin shape here. Look, we'll just do the curve round for the pumpkin like that, all the way back round. You might even want that little sort of stalk coming out of it. So there's our little pumpkin stalk. And now, let's think about the two eyes, a nose and a mouth. Here's a quick way to do that as well then. So this is going to be the eyes. I'm going to cut in for the eyes. I'm going to cut in for the eyes, but then go around like that and create sort of a V shape. There it goes. So it looks a bit more sort of evil. That tiny little gap might show up, but it's not important. Now a little triangle for the nose. And then a bigger triangle. You could even do sort of, you know, the teeth and that sort of thing, like that. And then when you open it out, there it is. Let's just try and project this one. So what I'll do is get a tiny little bit of sticky tape, fold it round, put it on a stick. There we go. Now let's just try with that torch that we showed you before. And there it is. There's our little shadow theatre there. It's also possible to do scenery. So can you imagine you've got your shadow theatre? So if that was your shadow theatre, if you fix some scenery inside the back, then whatever shadows you've got that move, the scenery is in the background and that remains where it is. So you might want, you know, a little scene where you've got a church. So there's no reason why you can't just sort of cut the sort of tower shape like that, and then down, and then along like that, and then slope it down to the door. There we go. So there's your little sort of church shape. And if you think about it, you can actually cut in all manner of shapes into it as well. So if we were to create a little door at the bottom of the tower, there it is. Windows all the way along, possibly a little window in the belfry there at the very top of the tower. So that then sticks in at the back against that rim there. So now when we project against the screen from the back with the torch, then you see the shadow of the church. So I'll have great fun doing that. There's all sorts of other shapes you can make, but remember, symmetrical cutting is a fabulous way to get these cut out with no fuss and bother. And you know, you make a mistake once, that's no problem, you get it right the next time. Remember, magnets are very useful as well, because they let you sort of chop and change and pick things up, then put them down, pick another one up and bring that one into the scene. So these little disc magnets are very, very useful, but you would need a little staple and a little steel staple to go with them as well. Have fun doing that then.